Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another review, and this time I'm talking about my boy. That's right, he's back after 7 long years of waiting for this boy to come back, even though he's been dead for quite a long time. He's been dead since the third movie. I've been waiting though, I've been waiting for him to come back. Of course, I'm talking about my boy. You know his name, say it with me. Motherfucker Jigsaw, he back, and now he gets a movie that's named after him, not just half of him, you know, because the original movie was called Saw because it actually has to do with a saw towards the end of the movie, at least. Well, actually, throughout the entire movie, the saw was like almost a character on itself, like just like it's always there, and it's like leering at the two people inside the basement or wherever the hell they were in. Wasn't it just like a locker or something like that? But you know, it was always there, just like it was always taunting them, like you can get out of here, man. You just got saw through that motherfucking leg. And then I'm not gonna say what happens at the end, but I mean it's been 13 years since this movie came out. I can assume that you assume at this point that happens, especially since these movies are known for their graphic violence. And I enjoy these movies, I really do. I enjoy all of them, even the terrible ones. Like there's times where when I first saw some of the really bad ones, like 4 and 5, even 7. When I saw them, I'm like, this is terrible. But then I watched them again later on, and I just laugh. I'm just like, this is so bad. A lot of the acting's horrible. The writing's god-awful. It's the same thing over and over again. But we get some really awesome kills, some really awesome practical effects. Gotta give it credit, you know, it's good. And well, not always practical, okay? Not always, especially with Saw 3D. I'm pretty sure they used a lot of CG in that one. But point is that a lot of them did use practical. And even when they were impractical, they were inventive ways to kill people. And it was always tense, you know? It was, even if you didn't give a shit about the people, it was always tense, like, oh man, what's gonna happen next? You know, you're always trying to figure out, like, oh shit. It's kind of like the Final Destination movies in a way, where you're just like, oh, how are they gonna die? How? Oh, that's the way. Oh, fuck, that's fucked up. But this is the kind of same thing with the series. Okay, I always compare it to kind of like the Friday the 13th films, where it's just you're watching it to see people die in gruesome ways. And you can say that about most horror franchises, but that's why I enjoy these films. So I was looking forward to an 8th one. I'm not gonna lie. Originally, this was called Saw Legacy, but they put my boy Jigsaw in the title. Good. Jigsaw is one of the best horror icons out there nowadays, I would say. You know, like, I guess now a horror icon would be Annabelle the doll, you know, which is kind of sad. And maybe the nun from The Conjuring, and I don't know what else. There's not many out there, really. I mean, I guess you could still say Jason and Freddy, but they're getting older, you know, and they don't make movies anymore of them, sadly. But yeah. Yeah, we got Jigsaw, so let's talk about it, okay? This is going to be a review. I'm going to review it first, and then I'm going to talk spoilers, okay? So this is going to be a review/spoiler discussion. This is how I'm going to start doing reviews more often, like this more often. So it's going to be a little bit messy, but, you know, whatever. People did like the Snowman and the Boo 2 reviews, so hopefully you like this one. I'm going to tell you right here, I enjoyed this movie. I did. I was not going in expecting much, even though I was excited. I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting just a Saw film. You know, you get some good violence, you get some good twists. Not really good, but, you know, fun twists. You know, I always like a twist that's like obvious, but the way they reveal it in these Saw movies are always fun, because it's always like piecing it together, and then you get like flashbacks of why this is happening and stuff. And it's always like, oh, well, that was obvious, but the way they do it, I'm always entertained by the way they do it. I know that probably doesn't make any sense, but they do the same thing here. It goes through the exact same motions that you would expect from any other Saw movie. You have a group of 5 people in the beginning of the movie that are trapped in of course, a jigsaw trap. And then you also have the police side story, which is like every single Saw movie except maybe the first one. Well, actually, no, the first one had that too. You had Danny Glover. So you had pretty much that exact premise in every single Saw movie. You got the police side story, which is like them trying to figure out where these people are, and oh, where's Jigsaw, or oh, who's the Jigsaw killer copycat, or whatever, and like who's Jigsaw's protege. Like, we need to figure it out. I mean, there's already been like 25 fucking proteges. Let's find out who the new one is. And it keeps doing the same thing over and over again. But it's like the Friday the 13th movies, where it's just the same shit over and over again. People, you know, dumb teenagers or college students or whatever, go to the camp and then get murdered. It's the same thing over and over again. But if you enjoy those movies, then I can't see why you wouldn't enjoy these ones, especially since these ones also give you exactly what you would expect from Friday the 13th, which is just gruesome and awesome kills. Except these ones, actually, I would say these ones, when it comes to the kills, they get way more gruesome, and they have a trap, which is very, like, at times, very inventive. You know, the reverse bear trap, I know right now you're thinking, well, that's not anything special. But that movie Saw, what was it? Yeah, it was Saw 1 that introduced that. That movie introduced that shit. You know, that was inventive at the time. That was gruesome just thinking about it. And you didn't even see how it worked in Saw 1. You just saw what it could do. Like, it just reversed, you know, it's a reverse bear trap. So it doesn't go to this, it does this. So it just rip you in half. Your head in half, at least. And I always like that about these movies, you know, these traps. The traps are always the best part. Like, ooh, what's going to be the next trap? You know, it's like opening a present. Like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be. And then friggin' thing jabs you in the face. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for knifing the fucking face. But it was violent. That's what I wanted. So that's what you get from this movie, okay? It's a lot of fun. The acting, I will say this. The acting is actually much better than the last few Saw movies, because a lot of the last few Saw movies, they cast actors that are just horrible. Especially in Saw 3D, you had Tobin Bell's wife, or I'm sorry, Jigsaw's wife. Tobin Bell is the actor. You had Jigsaw's wife, who was terrible. You had the junior detective guy, who kind of looked like Christian Bale a little bit. He was really terrible. There's some other side characters that are really bad. Even 6 and 5 had some pretty bad acting from some of the people in the traps. So that's all, you know, a little bit better here. Like, there's no great actors here, but for the most part, everybody does their job. The writing itself isn't that great either. It really tries to keep you one step behind it. Like, it's like, yeah, we're all the way over here with these twists. Okay, we know where it's gonna go, and you're like, yeah, I know where it's gonna go too. You kind of telegraphed it a few times, you know. You can tell the script thinks it's way smarter than it actually is. And I really did enjoy a lot of the traps in this movie, and I did like that it ramped up. You know, it didn't start off with something extremely gruesome and then it got even more gruesome or whatever, or not as gruesome, but you know, it started off with something really gruesome, then it like diminished, and then it did something really gruesome at the end. Here was kind of like a nice slow increase of violence. You know, it was like a little bit more, a lot. Whew! That last death scene. Oh, that was awesome. That was like straight shit that was straight from Mortal Kombat. I'm pretty sure one of the characters in Mortal Kombat X had that almost exact same fatality. That was dope. So overall, if you're going in expecting a Jigsaw or a Saw movie, I should say, that's exactly what you're getting. You're getting all the twists and turns. You're getting, oh, is there another protege, or is Jigsaw really alive? You're getting a whole little mystery behind it, and at the end, it thinks it tied it all in a neat little like bow, but really it didn't. But you know, you kind of forgive it because it was fun along the way. It matters on if you like these other movies. If you like the other Saw movies, if you like 2 or 3, maybe even 6, you know, those are the better quality Saw sequels, I would say, at least. Then you'll like this one. You know, if you didn't like Saw 4, 5, and 7, then I don't know, you'll like this one better. I think this will definitely be better than those 3. Those 3 definitely, when it comes to the cop side story, those kind of took place. I mean, yeah, those kind of took the place of the Saw trap scenes way more than they should have. You know, they should have focused way more on the traps, because that's why you go see these movies. Also, Tobin Bell, even though a lot of sequels he kind of shows up for very minimum times, he's always captivating to watch. He's always great, you know, and he's great here. He is, you know. You might only hear him here and there. I'm not gonna say if you see him or not. You hear him a lot in this movie though, and he's great. You know, you see him on the poster. Look, there he is. Great poster. I like the poster. That's a good poster. But there you go. Anyway, that's my review. Now let's get to spoiler discussions. All right. Okay, so I like the movie. You know, I'm a Saw fan. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's great or whatnot, because it's not. But I enjoy them. All right, so now let's get to the spoilers. This movie, just like all the other Saw movies, so I'm not even gonna say like this is wholly different or not. This movie has a couple of twists. It has a lot of misdirection, so it's like, you know, leading you one way when it really is going this way, obviously, if you don't know what misdirection is. It's trying to make you believe, like, this guy is the Saw killer copycat. This guy is. But then you find out later on that the whole 5 people inside the Saw trap just like, I'm pretty sure this happened a couple times in the past, especially Saw 2. Saw 2 did this. But the 5 people in the traps that are getting killed off one by one, each one is gruesome, completely gruesome. And I'll talk about those in a second because I would consider those spoilers. That's why I didn't talk about it in the, I didn't really talk about it much in the actual review. But man, oh man, they do this a lot where they have the whole thing where it's the 5 people in here and they're getting killed one by one, and then at the end of the movie you find out all that stuff actually happened before the original Saw. That was like the original trap. That was the original series of traps, which you're already like, really? What the fuck? And it makes sense in a way. I mean, it only makes sense because whenever we see these characters aren't talking about, oh my god, this is the Jigsaw killer. You know, they're not talking about like if it was present day where all the Jigsaw killings already happened and everybody knows about them. They never mention anything about really Jigsaw. You know, just like, oh, we just gotta do it or we're gonna die. So it makes sense when you find out later on it's the first series of killings. And then you find out like one of the characters, Anna, the woman who's like, I guess the main one of the 5. You find out she has a connection with Jigsaw, John Kramer, and the connection is that they were neighbors, and he heard her because they all have like something they did shitty in the past. You find out that I know this was so dumb. You find out that she killed her. All right, it is dumb, but whatever. The way they do it in the movie is a little silly. But all right, so she killed her baby. She had a husband and a baby. She killed her baby because the baby wouldn't stop crying, so she was going fucking nuts. Killed the baby and then blamed the husband. The husband was sleeping and then blamed the husband and said like the husband like rolled over on the baby and smothered the baby. So that was a whole thing. So that's the reason why she's in the trap. And then other people have reasons too. And they're little smaller reasons. Like one guy sold a bike to a guy that was defective. And then he tried to drive it. And then he got killed. And then you find out that guy that got killed was Jigsaw's nephew. So there you go. There's a couple other reasons why the other people are there. One guy is just a piece of shit. You know, he's just had a bad life. And one time he got his friends killed. That's the guy in the trailer that seems like he's more of the comedic levity of the movie, and he ends up actually being the main one to survive. I'm just gonna tell you right here, the 5 in this movie do not survive, but he's the last one, and then he's the one that's like, oh, is he gonna survive? Then you find out he didn't. But I don't need to talk about that. And let's just say they all die, and most of them die in very gruesome ways. So you definitely get that. And I don't know, a lot of people are saying there's a lot of CG in here. There's a little bit, you can tell there's a little bit, but there is a lot of nice practical makeup effects. Some guy gets his head cut off from this way, so it's like from the tongue or the mouth all the way to the top of the ear. So it's just like this part of his head's gone, and it's really good, nice practical effects. And then you got a couple people get like, one guy gets like just skewered completely inside this like kind of pretty much like a giant blender is pretty much what it is, and he gets completely fucked up. And when you see his body, he's all chewed up and stuff, and he's got skin falling off of him, and that's completely practical. And I thought that was really good. That was a good effect. And then there's the one I was talking about earlier, where it was just like has one of the best death scenes in one of these movies, and it looks like a fatality. One guy gets his head, I don't even know how to explain it. He gets his head, you know how you cut an orange into little like slices and stuff? That's pretty much what happens to his fucking head. His head just like gets cut, and then they just like pieces of it just start falling off, but they're still hung. Like he just gets his head kind of cut. I can't explain it. Just, you know how an orange, you know, you cut an orange and you have all the slices. His head gets sliced, and then they all start falling down like if it was like a flower budding, like it's a flower like opening up. And then a blood splurt comes out of his neck. It was fucking violent, and it was awesome. It was practical too. That was dope. So there's a lot of really dumb shit in this movie, okay? The whole thing of the 5 actually taking place before the original Saw movie is stupid. Of course, there's a new protege in here. The movie wants you to believe, like, oh, Jigsaw, he's actually alive somehow. They even do things where, like, they go and dig up John Kramer's grave, and, oh, his body's not there. It's someone else is in there. And then you find out, uh-oh, guess what? He has another protege. There's a character in here who is a war vet that became a guy that performs autopsies. He's a doctor pretty much. And the whole movie is like, maybe like the first hour is about like investigating him. Like there's a detective character in here, the one that gets his head just sliced up like an orange. He's trying to investigate this guy because he thinks him and his assistant are the new Jigsaw killers. And the whole first hour is like, we don't believe, like, we're not supposed to believe that he really is the Jigsaw killer because it's so obvious. Like, the first hour is just this guy investigating and thinking it's him, so you're already like, well, it's definitely not going to be him. They wouldn't tell us pretty much immediately. And then you start getting misdirected, like, oh, maybe it's the detective guy that's investigating, or maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe Jigsaw's really back alive. And then you find out, like, all those killings that we've been watching happened years and years ago, and you find out that the freaking medic guy that went well, he didn't go AWOL, but the medic guy that was a war vet, he's the real Jigsaw killer. He has whole motive, which is, you know, simple stuff. His wife got killed, you know, stuff like that. And he's the new Jigsaw killer. He's the new guy. Oh my god. To be fair, that guy is a decent actor. Everybody's a decent actor in here. Okay, everybody does a good job for the most part. There's a couple of iffy performances from some, you know, smaller characters. But they're not around for too long, so you can't really give them shit. So all the main ones are good enough, at least. And he's a decent actor. So at the end, when that is revealed, he does a better job than Costas Mandylor. That was the actor, right? The one that became the new Jigsaw killer after what, 4? The one that got Saw 1 at the end of Saw 7. You know, when he gets left behind by Carrie Elways. He does a better job of revealing it, you know. And in Saw 4, when you reveal that it's Costas Mandylor and he's the new protege, I'm just like, he just stands up, he's like, game over, and he leaves. Here, he actually gives a whole, like, really decent speech, decent for this series, of course. I'm not talking about, like, it's not Apocalypse Now or some shit, compared to other speeches in movies. But compared to speeches in other Saw movies, it's pretty good. And he gives a whole speech of why he's doing it and whatnot, and, you know, John gave him another chance. You know, he was actually a part of the original 5. That's probably the biggest twist. There's the first 5 people in the beginning of the movie, one of them gets killed immediately, and you never see his face. You find out that one guy you think it's just some random guy that just gets killed, so they can have a higher body count. You find out it's actually the medic guy, and John didn't actually want to kill him because what he did in the past wasn't shitty enough to get him killed. So he actually he had like a last second like change of heart, and John took him and stitched him back up because he gets all messed up by these saw blades, and he brings him back and he makes him his protege. Again, another one. I guess technically he's the original protege. So, and he helps design all the traps. So later on, when you find out what Shawnee Smith and Costas Mandylor, those are just the fake proteges. You know, this is the real one. And I guess Carrie Elways, he's a protege too. And Jigsaw's a smart guy, you know. He got Carrie Elways, he got all these people. Shawnee Smith, he got all these people. And now he's got this guy, and I guess this is going to be the new Jigsaw killer. So I guess I should talk about more of the death scenes. I don't know. I think I talked mostly about them. I think I did a good job there. I think I did. Yeah, good job. You know, bravo, Gore. So yeah, no, it's a fun movie to watch if you know what you're expecting. It's the same shit. You know, you get the cops like, oh, maybe it's this guy, maybe it's this guy, maybe it's this guy. But it has better actors, has some good death scenes, some good traps. That blender one was pretty awesome. And then the one with they have lasers cut this guy's head into orange slices, and it's silly, it's dumb as fuck, don't get me wrong. It's like some sci-fi tech they have, but you know what, I don't care. I really don't give a shit. Just entertain me. I really don't care. I'm not looking for intelligent shit from Saw. Like, even the original movie, a lot of people go like, oh, original one's really intelligent. No, it's not. It has some dumb, goofy fucking moments. Come on. It's not as goofy as the sequels, don't get me wrong, but that movie wasn't like a pioneer of smart horror or some shit. That movie was dumb. It had a lot of dumb moments. This movie made me want to go watch the first 3 again, because I actually really enjoy, like, legitimately, as horror movies, enjoy the first 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7 are just like goofy, dumb, fucking terrible movies that I enjoy. Well, to be fair, 6 has some good stuff. The Medicare thing or whatever, that was pretty good. That was actually the traps storyline was actually pretty good in that movie. Even though, I don't know, yeah, this movie tries to tie it into all the other movies in ways, and I don't know, like if you try to chronologically like order these movies, there's like you'd go fucking insane. There's characters that are in 2 that show up for half a second that are in 3 for main characters, and I mean that's not true. I'm just saying like this is the kind of shit Saw does as a movie series, where you'll have a character in the background of 4 that's a main character in 6, and then a character in 6 that was in the background of 2, and like, they do this a lot. There's a character that's in 7 that got his hand split in half in fucking 5, which is, by the way, that's true. By the way, that was an awesome death scene too. Well, actually, he didn't die, I guess, but that was an awesome gore scene, I guess. Gore, that's me. So how long have I been going on? I think I talked about it enough. 20 minutes, that's it, really. All right, well, let me wrap it up by saying this. Jigsaw is a fun movie. It really is. If you like the Saw movies, you'll have fun with this one. I'm sure there's going to be people that are saying, like, no, I saw it and I love the Saw movies. This sucked. I don't know. But I enjoyed it mostly. Yeah, I enjoyed it mostly. Is there some bad stuff in it that isn't enjoyable? I don't know, some of the police stuff was a little slow, I guess. The writing still isn't great, so when that police stuff is all about like trying to figure out where these traps are happening, it slows down, sure, but it's always a nice little build up to the next trap, I guess. You know, it's a nice little like, oh, we just saw an awesome trap. Okay, let's calm it down, you know, get mellow a little bit. Oh, here's another trap. There you go. But those little mellow parts are still kind of tedious and exactly what you expect. Also, the misdirection shit was getting ridiculous. I'm like, I called immediately who it was. Immediately. When they were trying to do that, like, hey, I'm not the Jigsaw killer. I'm just a nice guy. When they introduced the guy, like, about 15 minutes into the movie, I'm like, that's a Jigsaw killer apprentice. To be honest, I was hoping they'd just say, fuck it. He's back. Jigsaw's back. How? I don't know. He's just back. Because when they killed him in Saw 3, I'm like, because they were figuring that would be it. That would be the last Saw, and that's it. We're done. That's exactly what they're figuring. That's why they also killed Shawnee Smith. They were like, all right, we're done. You know, this movie's probably going to make a little bit of money, but, you know, we're done. And then, of course, it made a lot of money. It made way more than the second one and the first one. So of course, I think it was Lionsgate at the time, which I think it still is. They're like, oh, no, you better make a fucking another one. And they're like, oh, fuck. All right, shit. All right. There's another protege. We already killed the other one. Let's kill him. Let's make it. There's another one. Oh God. So that's where like they got written into a hole. We're just like, oh, there's a protege. There's another one. And let's keep this one until they say we can't make any more movies, and then we'll just kill them off in the next one or whatever. They also never mentioned that too in this movie. I'll give them credit here. They never really mentioned about the Jigsaw killer copycat. Well, actually, they did have a little reference to it, a little bit, like a little mention, like this wouldn't be the first time we had a Jigsaw killer copycat. So I guess that's not technically true, but they never mentioned Costas Mandylor's character, which was Detective Hoffman, I think. So they never mentioned him, which I thought was, you know, probably a smart idea, I guess. Try to distance itself away from those last few ones and just say, this is a new one, this is new. Remember the first one you liked, and maybe if you liked the second and third ones, did you like those? Well, hey, look at this. It's more like those ones. Whoa, you know? But, yeah, anyway, I enjoyed it. Jigsaw was good. For what it is, you know. If I had to give it a score, I'd give it a 26 out of 40. It's a fun little film, you know. It's not gonna, you know, appease everybody, but, you know, I enjoyed it. Shoot me, you know. I will take this over Snowman, Boo 2, and Geo fucking Storm any day of the fucking week, okay? I needed something goofy but still fun in a theater after those 3 fucking excruciating ones. To be fair, I did watch Only the Brave a few days ago, which wasn't, I wouldn't say goofy fun, but, you know, it definitely wasn't, especially towards the end. The only thing that was goofy was my face, because I was fucking crying. But, great, you know, great fun. Great fun. Put that on the poster. right below Jigsaw's face. Great fun. This guy provides great fun. So anyway, that's it. There you go. So I enjoyed it. Shoot me. I don't care. You know, I still have people telling me like, oh, Jeepers Creepers 3 was alright. I don't know why you hated it so much. I'm sure those people will say, Jigsaw sucked. I'm sorry stuff happened in Jigsaw. I mean, it might have been the same shit that's always happened, but at least stuff happened. You know, at least there was visuals, you know, not just people talking for an hour and then, oh, there's a creeper in daylight. He looks like shit. Okay, you know. Oh, there's a child molester joke. You know, written by a guy that was a known child molester. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, by the way, I should say these directors, I was a little bit more excited for this movie when I heard it was from the directors of Predestination, which, by the way, if you're watching at this point, watch Predestination. Don't watch a trailer. Don't watch anything about it. Look it up. If you could, well, don't look it up, but look up where you can watch it. I think it's on Netflix. I could be wrong. Ooh, watch that movie. They also made Daybreakers, which I thought was a very enjoyable movie. They made Undead, which was an enjoyable movie for the fact that it cost them almost nothing, and they had to shoot in their backyard. When you watch that movie and you know that, you appreciate it more. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, I was excited for that. But anyway, there you go, Jigsaw. Anyway, thank you. Until next time, goodbye.